Apparently, the game has sold over 10,000 copies.
So it did better than Marvel's.
It's now time for my 2-minute review of Alex Jones NWO game. Adam's 2-minute review. You can find Adam Wednesdays here on Side Scrollers. But not this Wednesday because we will not be live. All right, let's get into it. The Alex Jones NWO game, $17.76. I paid for this game expecting something from it. Here's my gameplay of it from the other day over on Rumble, which I actually couldn't stream it over on YouTube for some reason. But here it is as I played through. This is a browser game, not a game you can download on Steam, something you can just pick up and play in your browser. You play mouse and keyboard. And as you go through, you're going to see a lot of similarities to something like Contra, something like Metal Slug, to the point to where you actually swipe people with your knife going through, just like Metal Slug. You're going to see all sorts of different enemies.
He's killing Bill Gates.
Yes, the Virgin Billionaire.
If he dies, do you vanquish him back to Epstein Island?
Well, Epstein Island is a level that you play on later.
Oh my God.
This is definitely a social commentary game. I wouldn't say it's built to be a good video game at any point, but it is definitely built around social commentary. $17.76. You actually start this game in Wuhan, China. I'm sorry, in the laboratory. And as you go through, you will fight Dr. Fuker here as you make your way through. Very primitive game design, very primitive graphics. He does get chased down by the dogs that he was torturing, and he does get destroyed by said dogs. So there's lots of little things like that as you make your way through. You go from there to San Francisco, and you fight, the rainbow gay frogs falling from the sky. So there's a lot of moments like that where you kind of giggle and you make your way through. You then make your way to various places like an island, and you fight a saxophone playing rapist, as it's titled down here on the bottom of the screen. And then you have a level where you're destroying things in a tank as you're making your way through, because why not? This is actually sent to take place in Canada. So this game is not exactly good by any means. It's not worth $17.76, but it is a fun joke of a game. The game climaxes. Here you go. You're going to fight Castro Jr. Obviously, but there's a lot of little nods like that. I will say this: I went through and I defeated the game. After I beat it, you eventually fight a giant puppet octopus. That's your final boss after defeating George Soros, which is maybe George Soros is next. Here we go. There's George Soros.
Oh my God.
The all-powerful globalist, getting their tentacles and everything. Not difficult.
Like Klaus Schwab, actually.
I think that's kind of I think Soros was earlier. I think that's who it is. Soros is earlier. Then it's Klaus Schwab. I don't really know how they look, but
I don't recognize him without his shoulder pads.
What's amazing is that you beat the game, and this is probably the most disappointing thing. There's no ending. There's no like, hey, I won. So you just finish the game and it starts on over. It is a very lackluster thing. But it was $17.76, beaten about 30 minutes, which, I wouldn't exactly call this a great game. I don't think you can find this on Steam. Never
will.
Yes. But it was definitely a quick cash in, and I'm glad to have played it for the audience, although I do not foresee myself going back and playing the game ever again. So... Although I can. It is very anticlimactic for sure. So for those of you looking to pick up the Alex Jones NWO game, I do not recommend it from a video game standpoint. From a social commentary perspective, you get a few giggles out of it. It's kind of funny. So, there you go. There's my thoughts on the NWO game.
It looks good, like gameplay wise. It looks good. It doesn't look $18 good. It doesn't.
No. If they priced it at like $4.99.
Yeah, like something like that. It'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a lark for 30 minutes, whatever.
Right, exactly. So, and I look at it strictly, from a gaming perspective, and I'm like, okay, and one of the things I talked about was when I saw this game, I was actually kind of disappointed because I want to make a game just like this. I want to make a social commentary game built around things that are happening in society, so much so that we have a full game design doc. I've been working with some developers on it and stuff. So I saw this and was like, oh shit, Alex Jones beat me to it. But after playing through it, I actually see tons of opportunity because I see where there's tons of holes in it. It's not there's very little gameplay in it. There's only like 3 weapons. You have your main pistol, you have a machine gun, and a flamethrower.
Yeah. And a game like this, how's it not co-op? How's it like, oh my gosh, there should be a second player? I don't know, Owen Schroyer. I don't know who you could put in as second player.
Yeah. But it was definitely a disappointment.
Art Bell would be second player. There you go. Shadow people.
Apparently, the game has sold over 10,000 copies, which good for.
So it did better than Marvel's. Okay.
Yeah, has a bigger box office there. So I would give the Alex Jones game a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
It is, I'm just saying it's not a very good game, and the replay value was not very high. Although they do like it says like once you beat a game or beat a level and you get a high score, it's like high score, like it's expecting you to go back and speed run the game. I don't think many speedrunners are going to be going back and playing Alex Jones NWO game, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I can be the world record holder of the speedrun in the speedrunning community.
Nice.
But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.